Hello everyone, I am the Trip Keeper, and on today's video I'm going to be talking about recreational marijuana and why it should be legalized, and why I hope it will. Not saying that it will, but there is some positives pointing in the right direction for it to be, finally. It's long over fucking due. It's like a fucking, that Seinfeld episode where Jerry had the fucking, what was that? Something Capricorn book, and the librarian came to his apartment and shit and said it was overdue, and it's been like for like 20 years. Basically how it is for weed. Yeah, it needs to happen. I think most people agree, unless you're pro alcohol and think alcohol is like the safe drug. My mom, she drinks beer a lot, and it gets on my nerves when she talks bad about weed when you're literally drinking beer, and it's not even good beer. It's the cheap shit. It's like the big tall ones. It's not Natty Daddies. It's the Bud Ice. She gets like 3 of them. She gets 3 of the tall ones, and she's telling me weed is bad. Mom, respectfully, shut the fuck up. No, but seriously, that's how most people are. It's mostly like older people who don't want it, because I mean, I can't really say I blame them, because that's what the government told them when they were younger. You know, they were saying, "Oh, this drug will kill you. They'll fry your brain." You know, stuff like that. All you got all those ads and shit. But now, I mean, there are people coming around. I think if you're young, like me, who's in their mid-20s, mostly everyone knows it's safe. There's a couple outliers of people that don't think that, and they don't drink alcohol either, so they're just completely sober, which I'm okay with that. You know, that's probably the best thing to do, honestly, but it's nice to let loose every once in a while. I'm not totally against alcohol, because I do drink it, but if we're talking about what's safer and what's better for this country and what's better for all around, if you replaced alcohol with weed with people, man, there'd probably be no wars. There'd be no fights. There'd be no greedy bastards. They all be smoking. Like, you'll probably see Putin and fucking Biden fucking smoking a joint somewhere, being like, "Hey, man, this is some good shit. Forget about that nuke." You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Really, it doesn't matter. Whatever political leaders hate each other, you know, us in China, maybe we could work out with China, you know, fucking, it's scary over there. But, yeah. Anyways, off topic there. This is a problem here, and I think it's about time that we fucking approve this shit, because it is finally on the ballot. I thought it was on the ballot before for Ohio, but it wasn't. They finally got it on. They got enough signatures. So, yeah, at least that's a step in the right direction. But you got to look at Colorado, who's already fucking about to legalize mushrooms, or they already have. It's fucking crazy. And then there's Canada, who's just like, give me all the drugs. Fucking legalize cocaine, fucking heroin. Yeah, I'll go give you some heroin right now. I don't give a fuck. I'll shove it right up your ass. That's what they're doing up there. I mean, I'm not saying I want heroin in my ass, but I just want to smoke a doobie and be okay. Not me personally, because I'm not a fan of weed anymore like I used to be. It just makes me too paranoid, and the bad outweighs the good for me. Like, the first hour, I'm like, you know, my heart starts beating really fast, especially if I'm drinking with it. Not even a lot, but I don't even have to drink for my heart to beat fast like that. It's just, I don't know why. It just happens automatically, and yeah. But there are some loopholes in Ohio where we sell Delta 9 THC, which is the fucking chemical in weed that makes you high. And we also have Delta 8, and then they sell CBD, of course. But Delta 9, yeah, they got loopholes and shit. You can buy that shit at the head shops anywhere in Ohio. Like, you can get that anywhere. And then you can go online and get it too if you want. But just go right to the fucking store and buy it. And it's just basically the same thing. I don't think I've seen any like rolled joints of it or anything in the store, but there's edibles of it, and I've done it, and it feels like the real thing, because it is. And yeah, so I don't know how they got that selling in the stores, but you know, weed, it's like, oh, whoa, we can't be selling this shit, but we'll allow that. So it just doesn't make sense. And really, my opinion with it, Ohio would be making so much money. The weed industry makes billions of dollars. It's insane. Like, the alcohol sales aren't going to drop. The nicotine sales, the tobacco sales aren't going to drop. Okay, I don't know if they're worried about that or not, but that's not a concern. You're gonna be adding more money. I thought greedy politicians love money. I don't know what they should be. I don't know. It's a bunch of old school people in politics that they don't want to just like move on from their old altered reality from back in the fucking 60s where everything was a danger or communist or whatever. And yeah, so they just I don't know. It reminds me of this guy on TV who does sports, Skip Bayless. He sticks with something and he doesn't let it go. He just whatever he talks about and he sticks with, like, he hates LeBron James and he's never said anything really good about him. Even when he's talking good, it's throwing shade at him. That's how these fucking politicians are with weed. Like they just don't want to admit their statistics and everything. Just don't want to admit it. And I think that's the problem. We need to get these fucking people out of the office, or if you're going to stay there, listen to the youth, okay? Because, we're the future. You already fucked it up a lot, but at least we could try to fix a little bit of it. And this is one start. So we vote in November. Of course, why wouldn't you? I'm going to go vote in February. No. But yeah. So I pulled up this link, Fox 8 News. Shout out Fox 8 News. Watched them growing up. It's probably my favorite station. But yeah, I got this video right here. I only watched the first 10 seconds of them, like, okay, I'm going to save it. It actually gave me the idea to make this video, so we're going to watch this.
Years, marijuana advocates have been pushing to legalize marijuana in the Buckeye State. Now, after submitting enough signatures to get the issue on the ballot, the Coalition to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol is hopeful voters will roll up to the polls this November.
No. Roll up to the polls. I get what you said. Oh.
Earlier this month, it showed that 59% of Ohioans support the regulation of marijuana possession and sale.
59%. That's not enough. Really, it is not enough. Are you happy with the 59% on your fucking paper? Didn't think so. You need. If it was more like 70, I'd be like, okay. But 59, who are these people? Who are they?
To adults.
Spokesperson Tom Herron says if passed, it will possess 2.5 ounces of cannabis.
If you are old, go to a licensed dispensary to purchase.
Come on, bruh.
Proposal would allow Ohioans the ability to grow
marijuana products. The proposal would allow.
Wait, hold up.
Older than 21 years old, you can go to a licensed dispensary.
The proposal would allow
All right.
Ohioans the ability to grow up to 12
Bro, what the fuck?
ability to grow up to 12 marijuana plants per resident.
All right, 12 marijuana plants. Maybe I'll start growing once they legalize it, but who knows if they are.
Closed area that's not accessible to children.
Children are one of the primary reasons why groups like Protect Ohio Families are.
Children is a funny word for being stubborn.
Son became addicted. He started dabbing THC.
All right, we gotta.
His campaign spokesperson.
My son became addicted. He started dabbing THC.
Protect Ohio Families.
Okay. Now, this is what I have to say about weed being the gateway drug. Now, I wouldn't say I'm totally, like, against that, because I do think weed is somewhat into a gateway. I think, but it will also, there's a lot of times where it doesn't lead you that way, but weed can give you an idea of what being high feels like. And, if you can't get your hands on it, then you're going to try to find something else. But that's why if this is legalized, you go to the store, or you find a homeless man if you're under 18, 21, whatever. They buy it for you, just like how you do with alcohol when you were younger. Just do that, and yeah. But I do think it is, it's hard to say if it's a gateway. Like, in some scenarios it is, in some scenarios it's not. I feel like most of the scenarios it's not, but I can see where the hell she's coming from. I can see where these people say it, but I disagree with it. I think it's just like it matters, where you grew up, your family setting and shit, your friends. There's a whole lot of factors that go into it. It's not just the drugs' fault. It's just like when people want to ban guns, it's like The gun's not killing people. It's the people behind it. You know, that's just what it is. It's not. There's nothing to it. Most people who kill people in this country have mental illnesses, and people want to forget about that stuff. I mean, people will say they care about mental health, and then it's like, all right, we done talking about this. All right, let me go. That's what it is in this country.
Says legalized marijuana has an extreme impact on kids. She says its effects led her son down a path where he eventually made an attempt to take his own life. She says it's just not worth it.
Why would
Yeah, I don't want to discredit this woman because, you know, it is her son and stuff. I'm not saying that's not true. But it sounds like if weed, I don't think weed would make you want to kill yourself. I do think weed can exacerbate a lot of problems that you have, because when I smoke weed, the reason I get paranoid is because I start thinking way too much. And maybe that's what happened with him. I really don't know, but I'm glad he's still here. But yeah, when you smoke, you get more introspective with life, and you just like see a more deeper meaning to it. And maybe, you know, he just saw that life is meaningless. Everyone can see that shit. I mean, you can clearly see after we die, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen? You know, either we go into an afterlife or we just never be heard of again and we just die, lights out like that, you know, nothing. You really don't know. It makes you think about that stuff, because when you're sober, you think about it and you're just like, okay, well, yeah, it's a little existential. But when you smoke, you're just like, dude, what the fuck? You know, it's like that. So, yeah, you can't blame the drug for that stuff, though. It's really like, what about alcohol? When alcohol, people are really depressed and they drink, and then they go out for a drive or something and they're super fucking drunk, and you just want to fucking drive right into a pole or drive into oncoming traffic. What about that stuff? That's the problem. If alcohol was illegal, then maybe she could have a point. But since the fact alcohol is so popularized and just it is just plastered all over society and commercials, media, whatever the fuck it is, then you can't really say anything, because you got alcohol causing all these fucking problems, and then there's weed where the statistics show not really any problems, okay? So I just don't get that part. It's like people want to be so stubborn about it. That's the problem. It's just stubbornness. That's all it is. But I don't want to like speak on her and her son, because that, you know, there's whole other problems there. I know like I said, I think the weed exacerbated problems that he had. He could have been very depressed, and weed was just making it like worse. Because not everyone could smoke weed. Okay, it's not for everybody. It's clearly not for me. That's why I don't smoke. We're not saying people have to smoke it. This is just for people, you know, who want to escape, and they don't want to drink alcohol. And they don't want to get in trouble for doing, you know, smoking weed. That's the problem here. It's not about, we're not saying you have to smoke. You know, I'm not going to give a fucking, everybody turns 21, a fucking joint, be like, here you go, start your life. Here's the gateway. This is just about, want to let loose. Go to the liquor store after work on a Friday night. Hey, I'm going to go to the dispensary, buy a joint, get loose. I'm not going to fucking have a terrible hangover the next day either. Rare occasions, though, you could get a headache. But compared to alcohol hangovers, nope.
put more people at risk for marijuana impaired driving? Why would a community want?
Okay. Marijuana impaired driving, I do believe it does impair your driving a little bit. It's definitely not, you know, weed is not totally safe. Let's all agree to that. It's not like the safest fucking thing on the planet. Technically, shrooms are the most safest drug to take because it is the most natural, and yeah, it's just that's what I saw somewhere. I believe it wholly, but yeah, weed, like I said, it's not for everybody, and really, I don't think people should really be focused on you know, just driving, and just if you're gonna do it, hey. If you're going to drive, you're a lot better at driving than you are with drinking. Let me tell you that. I mean, when you're drinking and driving, the fucking roads are in different lanes and everything. It's just so bad. That's why so many people get into accidents. But with weed, you're just like, I think you're just not focused, or you're really focused and you're just like laser alert. It's either one or the other. I've been with friends that have been really focused and friends who have not. And for me personally, I am focused because I get very alert and I get paranoid. So I got two hands on the steering wheel and I'm looking forward. And then I drive slower too. Like there's a lot of people that drive slow like that. So I think that would be a little bit better if you think about it. But yeah, like I said, there's some people who really are just chill from it and they don't care about anything. And yeah, you can get a little relaxed behind the wheel. But compared to alcohol accidents, I mean, like how many fucking weed accidents has there been? I'm sure most of those had alcohol involved as well because crossfading is a popular thing to do. Trust me, it is a fun time when your heart's not beating so fucking fast.
To target vulnerable populations and add more addiction and mental illness. And I mean, our country's in the biggest addiction mental illness crisis of our time.
Heron says it will generate $400 million in new tax revenue for the state each year.
Wait, sorry, did he say her name was Karen?
Feels Ohio is overdue.
It's a long time between now and election day, so our plan is to keep our heads down and to keep working really, really hard to earn the trust and support of Ohio voters.
Come November, Ohio voters will decide if that plan will succeed or go up in smoke. Tino Bovenzi, Fox 8 News.
That was truly unbiased, you know? There wasn't really like you could walk away from that and be like, damn, well, that is definitely pro-weed or that is definitely pro-anti-weed. No, but it is... Ohio needs to fucking do it. Hey! COVID cases. So, yeah, it needs to happen. I mean... Put in the comment section below what you guys think. Is your state legalized? I know how many fucking states are still not legalized with it. It's less than half the country, right? I think it is. But there's been states that have been legalized for a while now, and it's crazy. And you should see how much money these fucking states have. It's just... It's weird when I go on vacation somewhere and you can buy weed. It's like, because people in Ohio, most people that I know, they drive up to Michigan and get it because, I mean, Michigan has them all over the place. Right when you drive in, they're like, all right, we got weed. Now you can leave after that because we hate Ohioans. For some reason, Michigan and Ohio do not like each other. But I hate both, so fuck off. Nothing to do with Ohio State and Michigan, though. That's a whole different college football. That's a whole different thing. But I'm talking about geographically. These people hate each other. I don't hate either. What did I say? I hate both, but I don't hate both. You know, it's a little tricky. These people are really... We're basically the same thing. They just don't want to admit it. Same with Indiana. Indiana is just like... Well, Indiana, I don't know. But yeah, we go up there, we travel there, and they come down here to go to Cedar Point. It's kind of like you're evening out. It's a trade for a trade. But is there anyone watching this video that isn't pro-weed legalization? Like I said, I'm not pro-weed. I'm pro-weed legalization. Now you could definitely, there's a lot of places where you can get like a medical card and stuff and get it, but it'd be just so much easier. You just walk in a dispensary, be like, hey, give me this, give me, you know. Yeah. That's just the one thing I hate about all this is the alcohol part of it. It's like they don't see how bad that is. And I think the reason why is because they make so much money from it. Now, once they realize when they legalize this and make a lot of money from weed, they're going to be like, why didn't we legalize this sooner? And, that's just how it's going to go. They just got to do it. Now, personally, I honestly don't think it's going to get past this election. As much as everyone thinks it is, as all the positives going into it, I really don't. I think there's a lot of old people that really are really stuck up about it. Like I said, they see that in the same category as like heroin almost, you know? They just think it because they just got brainwashed when they were younger about it, and they just don't want to accept the fact that that's not true. find out that the government lies to you? No fucking way. Would have never thought that. All right, I just wanted to talk about that. I thought that was an interesting topic to bring up on this channel. If you guys didn't know, yeah, I'm from Ohio, so kind of close to home, literally. But yeah, when November comes around, you gotta roll up to the polls and vote for the legalization of recreational marijuana.